My Doordash people, what is going on? Your boy C-Moto here. As you can see by the thumbnail, something that's just truly unbelievable, and I personally can't believe that we as drivers, some of us, are out there doing this. And I've spoken on this subject before. I've gave people plenty of advice in terms of how to deal with possibly getting tips for their orders, and I will always speak to the point that tips are not guaranteed. Like, I feel like I say it too much, but it's a lot of people out there that don't get it. They don't understand what tips mean, what tips are. People pay for a service. They pay for the service. If they want to leave a tip, it's because they got some kind of excellent service. Again, it's not because you drive your car, you put your gas, you change your tires, you pay your maintenance, your insurance. I go on and on and on about it. These are things that you as a driver signed up to do. And nowhere in the terms of conditions or terms of service, the agreement stating that you were going to get tips. And now people or drivers are just taking it like way beyond. They're just crossing lines now, and it's really embarrassing, because I can't imagine doing this as a driver. And I came across this story, and I know it's not the only one. I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that are doing this. So they started the no tip, no trip thing. Like, okay, they started that hashtag, and it's like, you're gonna be divided when it comes to that. You're gonna have some people that are gonna go with that. You're gonna have some people that are just gonna drive and just make the money they need to make, regardless of if they get tips or not. Now, granted, your market doesn't pay the same, blah, 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 as my market, blah, 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 or anybody else's market. It's not just about mine. I understand that, but all bets are off the moment that you accept an order and it does not show a tip. All bets are off when you don't see the tip there. So then you accept the order, and then you expect the tip because you accepted the order, you drove wherever you had to drive, you delivered to whatever huge apartment complex or any skyrise tower building. Like, at that point, all bets are off. Like, you accepted the order. It doesn't matter how and where you have to deliver it. You accepted to pick it up, you accepted to drop it off. Now, in between that mix, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take it back a few years. Not even a few years, I wanna say maybe a year ago. There was a way that customers used to be able to tip, but it was a really drawn out, like, kind of crazy process, like, and they had to go and search for it. I can't even remember where it was that they were able to go back and actually tip a person after the delivery. So you wouldn't get tips, because it was so hard for a customer to do it. And it's like, I didn't even want to have to try to explain to them. Like, I wasn't even worried about a tip at that point. But so something happened and it got away from that. And I previously did a video explaining how you can possibly get tips. And I personally placed an order with Doordash so I could show you guys how the tipping looks like. So not only when they're placing the order, they can tip you then before you pick up. Then they can also tip you throughout your whole process of picking up and delivering to them. They can do it in the middle of the delivery. And then last but not least, they can do it at the end of after you've completed the delivery. So you got 3 chances to try to accomplish a possible tip through customer service or excellent service per se, to then get a tip. A tip is not warranted just because you're using your car, like you signed up to do that. Again, I can't be more clear enough about that. But you hear this story of what this driver did, it kind of drives you kind of bonkers, because it's just kind of like, really? So the story that I came across is there's this Doordash driver that picked up an order, and I'm going to be showing you some screenshots of the text message between the driver and the customer. And part of the story from Doordash's responses in regards to how this all went down and went about. But Doordash driver goes to pick up an order. There's a delay. Mind you, the customer has already tipped the driver. There is a delay in picking up the order. Now, that driver then reaches back out to the customer and says, hey, there's going to be a delay in your order. For whatever reason, it wasn't made. I don't know how long the delay was. I don't think it's specified, but there's a delay. And then it said, and then the next thing is, can you tip more? Because of the delay. Can you tip more? At that point, you have an option to just unassign yourself from the delivery. But you actually reach out to the customer and ask them to tip more. It doesn't matter if they tipped or didn't tip. The point of you sending a text message to tell them to tip after you accepted the order or asking them to tip, it doesn't work that way, people. And I'm sure, like I said, I know this is not the only driver that's doing this. It really looks bad on us as drivers, the few bad eggs out there. And granted, whether people are okay or drivers are okay with getting tips or not getting tips, like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. I get out here, I accept my orders, I drive, I make my money, and at the end of the day, I'm good, I'm happy. Again, it's all extra money for me, so I really don't care. You people that got to be out here, like, I get it. The people that need the tips, at that point, don't accept the order if it doesn't show a tip. The only other option you have is accept the order and do your best to try to get a tip during that order. And that can be in the forms of communication. Again, I have a video out there that's letting you know, hey, send a message to the customer. Let them feel secure in knowing that you're taking care of their order. At that point, just let them know, hey, it's blah, blah, blah. I got your order request. I'm on my way to pick it up. If there's any questions, concerns you may have, anything extra you need, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll take care of you. Otherwise, I will see you momentarily. A very simple message to send to the customers that appreciate it. And trust you me, I know it's the message I send to each and every one of my customers. I also said this in one of my last videos as well. That simple message there can net you a tip more than not, because they appreciate it. They appreciate that message going out to them. It's all communication, people. When you go to pick up these customers' orders, it's all communication. You don't have to send them a text message. And then they don't have to tip you. They're paying for a service. You have to look at the upcharge and the fees. And the fees for the menu items, it's an upcharge on them at least $2 or $3 than them walking into the restaurant. So not only do they have to pay that, then they have to pay an actual delivery fee if there's a charge. Then there's Doordash's fees or whatever it is. So it's like a $9 number one for McDonald's is now $15, $16. Like, it's crazy. Granted, the people are ordering it, but they are paying all those fees to then have to additionally on top of that tip. And I appreciate tips. I do. So I like it when I get tipped. But I understand where the customers are coming from because of all the fees that they have to pay. Now, granted, we are getting paid for those deliveries. Granted, is it the amount that you would like to get paid? Maybe, maybe not. It's hit or miss. When it comes to the big high-paying deliveries, nobody's complaining. Nobody's complaining about the $10, the $20, $25, $30 orders. There ain't nobody complaining. You're probably not even worried about a tip if you see that amount as far as you getting paid, because that's what DoorDash is paying you. But it's the smaller orders that then become the problem, to where if you're not getting paid enough and you didn't see a tip there, why did you accept the order? At that point, like I said, all bets are off at that point. It's not me so much being negative. I'm just, these dashers out here are giving the good dashers a bad name in the sense because of stuff like this. Asking for, can you add more tip because the delay? No, unassign yourself from the order and keep going until you get that order that you want with the amount that you would like, and see how far that takes you. There's so many drivers out there that lose so much money driving like this, or they're sitting around waiting to accept the bigger orders, when at the end of the day, by the time you accepted that $15 order, you declined 5 or 6 orders that equaled that amount. So you just wasted a bunch of time, generally speaking. Because like I said, I'll always say there's no guarantee that just because you decline one order that the next one's going to be bigger, a higher amount. There's no kind of system that says that's how this works. Now, granted, everybody drives how they want to drive. You can drive how you want to drive. I'm not telling you how to drive. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what this video is about. The video is just simply about a driver having the nerve to ask a customer to add additional tip on top of what they've already did. Like I said, whether they tipped or not, didn't matter. And if they didn't tip you and it didn't show and you accepted that order, you don't have the right to reach out and just be like, hey, can you tip me please because this order is taking too long? That's a restaurant problem. That's a Doordash problem. You need to reach out to Doordash just like I do and let them know if there's a time beyond that I'm having to wait. I'm calling Doordash to let them know because I don't need a contract violation for picking up an order late or whatever it is. But then you also have that link at the bottom. Once you arrive to store, you can click and tell them what's happening with the order. And you can let them know at that point. Order's still being prepared. At a 4 or 5 minute mark, I believe, it asks you that you can unassign the order with no harm to your account, no fault to you at all. But you don't want to lose that money though. So you don't want to do that, but that's an option. You can unassign yourself from the order at that point of waiting so long. But it's just crazy that you have some drivers out there that just have the nerve to reach out to a customer and ask for additional tip. But like I said, in these screenshots, you can see the text message back and forth. And it's just like, really? Like all the question marks just trying to get an answer about extra tip. Like, I just can't believe people. Like, it's crazy that this no tip thing has came to where it's at now. Now these people have to leave a tip for you to pick up their order, deliver their order. Like, it's crazy to me, but you won't quit. And I'll never be one to tell a person to quit. But at this point, when it comes to things like that, come on, people. Just quit and go find the next. You just need a regular job that you can just clock in and just do your hours and get paid, and you don't have to worry about tips and this and that. If it gets to this point, now I'm saying, like, it's probably best that you quit. At bare minimum, just find another gig service to use or drive on. Like, if things are that bad, these people are attacking customers and such, and then you wonder why we can't get tips. You wonder why people stop using the service. Because look what's happening little by little with these drivers, because we've pushed this no tip, no trip thing, and it's like a requirement for people to tip to get their order. Like, it's just crazy. Is that a luxury service? What service did you provide? What excellence of service did you provide to warrant a tip? Besides, you used your car again. You signed up to do this. It'd be different if it said, hey, you're signing up to use your car. The customers are going to be required to send you a tip. That would be totally different. The game would be changed at that point. But it doesn't. And granted, I am one for who doesn't like tips. I'm not even saying I don't like tips. I get a lot of tips, but I also believe part of that, I'd like to say at least 80% of it is probably because of my service. I get a lot of repeat customers, and the customers that I've never gotten before, that's service that they're getting from me that I feel I'm getting tipped, because I get a lot of tips after the fact. Not only do I get tips at the beginning, but I get a lot of tips after the fact. This person added $5. This person added $10 to your delivery. Keep up the great work. That's the text message you get. I get so many of those, it's not even funny. So if it's meaning that I have to send them a simple text message just to have them feel secure and knowing that I'm taking care of their order, that's what I'm going to do. But this new thing here that you guys are doing, and some of the drivers, I won't say everybody, but some of these drivers out here are getting really wild with it. Like, you guys are getting really ballsy. Like, it's just crazy. And mind you, the driver that did this got deactivated. Over what? A couple of more dollars that he may have gotten? A couple of bucks? Let's say that customer sent a couple of bucks and then reported them. You lost your whole driver's account over $2-3. Like, I don't know how much tip it was expecting, but you lost your whole account over a few dollars. You can no longer drive that day. You can no longer drive the next day. You're done. when you could have just declined the order and just called it a day, or unassigned yourself with no hurt to your ratings or to your account. We have to be smarter, people. We have to be smarter. I'm not sitting there saying DoorDash is perfect. I'm not saying that. DoorDash has its faults. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. It's very simple for me. I'm either going to make the right amount of money that I want to make or I'm not. Again, this is all extra money for me. I have a day job that takes care of my life. So the stress is not piled up on me. If I make $75, $80 today and I make $200 tomorrow, like, it doesn't matter to me. It's all extra money I'm out here making. That's it. That's helping me out in life. There's just no way that I'm going to reach out to a customer and tell them to provide, please tip me. Never have I. My 5 years, never. I'm not going to start. But I'm just saying, I just wanted to show you guys this or whatever it is, just as it's becoming a reality now that drivers are doing this now. And it's doing nothing but hurting us now. You wonder why they're going to slowly just stop tipping us all together. DoorDash is not going to care because it's a service you provide. All DoorDash is doing is just sending you the order. You're the one that has to work for that tip. Find a way to work for the tip. Don't assume you're going to get it just because you accepted the order. They already paid for the service. The service you signed up to assist them with in terms of delivering. So it makes you look crazy. It makes you look dumb. And I'm not a negative person, but I mean, there comes a point where it's just like, Jesus Christ, people. Like, just stop already. And it's really bad, the ones that sit and they have the social media accounts. It was like, you hate DoorDash so bad. You dislike them so much. You talk about them so much. I have no problem with them. I don't speak any one way about them or another. I'm just out here making my money. Everything's going good for me. So I got no problem with DoorDash. But you have a problem with them, and then you're just out here making videos and making videos and making videos on their name. And you're complaining so much, and it's like, why are you even working for them no more? If I don't like a job, I quit the job. It's that simple. It is really that simple. That math is not hard. It's not difficult. But like I said, people, just go in and cut it. We have to do better as drivers. I'm not perfect. I don't think nobody is. But as drivers, we do have to provide some kind of customer service. We do have to do that. I will say that. But it's your boy C-Moto. I will leave it here at this point. If you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts about the matter, please comment down below. You know what it is when it comes to me. I respond to each and every person, each and every one of you guys. And when you guys need any help, I'm always there to help out. If I don't know the answer, I'm quick to get it right back to you, and I'll find that answer out for you. I will do my best to help those and help anybody. That's what I am here for. I'm a very informational type person in the sense of dashing. So until next time, people, you know what it is. Your boy C-Moto. Till next time. Peace out.